Hey everybody, today on Henry's HowTos, I'm going to show you how to make carrot and saffron jam. Let's get straight into it. Alright guys, so just in front of me here, I've peeled up 3 kilos of carrots. Now, I'm going to do this recipe based on 3 kilos, but I will write in the description what to do if you want to use 1 kilo, 2 kilo, and so on. Basically, you're just dividing the recipe. So what we need to do now is just get ourselves a grater, and we're going to grate these. If you do have a food processor with the grating attachment, go ahead and use that, nothing wrong with that. I just prefer to do everything by hand. So all we want to do is just keep on grating. Just like so. And make sure you are using the coarse side, not the fine side. So just continue doing that. I'm not going to bore you with the rest. Alright guys, so it took me 15 minutes, but it's done. So my suggestion is do use a food processor unless you are really bored and have nothing better to do. But let's continue. So guys, I've just bought some lemons. What we're going to do is use a zester on our grater to zest them. If you don't have one, just use a lemon zester. If not, just use the thin side on the grater. And you want to take all the zest off. Once it's all off, then we'll juice them. Now I'm going to add in 7.5 cups of white sugar. Now don't panic, it is a lot of sugar, but we are making jam. It does require a lot of sugar. And in total I used about 7 lemons for this, which gave me almost 1 cup of lemon juice. So we're going to pour that in as well. So guys, if you're making a smaller batch, for every 1 kilo of carrots, you want to add about 2.5 cups of sugar. So just keep that in mind. Now I'm going to add in half a teaspoon of ground nutmeg, half a teaspoon of ground cinnamon, half a teaspoon of ground cloves, about a teaspoon of salt, and all we're going to do now is just using a glove because this is going to be sticky. We want to mix this all together. And while you're doing this, you will appreciate the most amazing aroma. And if you don't put enough sugar, you won't. So trust me, don't panic, use all the sugar. So guys, do make sure it's well combined, this is very important. What we're going to do after this is place it into the fridge. We want to let the sugar penetrate the carrots and almost in a sense cook it. And that will just make all the flavors come out. That's why I'm adding the spices now. And just flatten it down. Scrape all the sides too. Make sure all the carrots stay together. Just like so. It's almost like a batter for a carrot cake now. And guys, what I'm going to do now is just cover it with some cling film. And this goes straight into the fridge. We'll leave it in there for about half an hour to an hour. If you're not in a rush, leave it overnight. It's going to come out even better. Alright guys, so I've just placed our mixture into a pot. As you can see, it's become nice and watery now. This is from the sugar and the lemon juice. So at this point, what we're going to do is put the pot on a low heat, and I'm going to add in 1 tablespoon of saffron water. Now you don't have to add this, but I do find it gives it a much richer aroma. Now I'm also going to add in 1 cup of plain water. Guys, all we need to do at this point, keeping it on a low heat, we're going to very slowly cook this for around 45 minutes to about an hour. And obviously we want the carrots to be cooked all the way through, and we want to be left with a nice thick sweet sauce. And as for stirring, pretty much every 5 to 10 minutes, give it a quick stir, make sure it's not burning or crusting anywhere. Alright guys, so it's been 45 minutes now. And I had left it on low heat the whole time. I've just increased it to medium to high. So we've given all that time for the spices and everything to slow cook. So now we want to really cook this all the way through and start thickening it up. And we're going to keep it on the high heat for around about 10 to 15 minutes. Alright guys, so once most of your liquid has evaporated like so, what you can do is switch your heat off and we're going to let this cool down. Now at this point you want to have a think about how you want to store this. In my case I'm going to put it in plastic tubs like this. Obviously, if you want to put it in little glass jam jars, you need to sterilize it. So to do that, just boil some water, put it into the jar for a few seconds, tip it out, that's ready to go. The problem is if you put this into a dirty jar, it's going to go off very quickly. We don't want that. So let this cool down for now. Alright guys, so I've just packaged it up into the containers as you can see, and that's ready to be used now. Now this sort of jam isn't limited to be used on breads or anything. It's very good with meats, mezze boards, anything marinated, anything antipasto, whatever you like. Even just on its own, it's amazing. Now storage wise, if you keep these covered, they'll stay in the pantry for at least a month. If not guys, just refrigerate them, you'll easily get at least 6 months. And it's as simple as that. I hope you like that guys, please like and subscribe. If you've got any comments or suggestions, just leave them at the bottom, and I'll see you all next time.